Hello streamers, MachineDaena from STREAMSENTIALS. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So the margins in streaming can be really tight. There are so many millions of people that are streaming every single day. Every single little thing that you do can matter in terms of the level of exposure you get and therefore the growth that you can get. In this video, I'm going to be going through a load of different tips and tricks that you can use to make your stream titles much more appealing, much more clickable, and increase the click-through ratio of your stream titles. I'll be mainly focusing on stream titles on Twitch, but these rules definitely apply to YouTube gaming and also Facebook gaming too. My personal background, I spent about 1.5 years as a marketing manager in business, and I've had a career of about 15 years in sales. So I know about hooks, I know about sales techniques. So in this video, the objective is to really share as much of that experience as well as the experience I've had while streaming to tangibly be able to affect your success, the click-through ratio that you get, the number of new viewers that you get, and then certainly the number of new followers that you get, which are all healthy byproducts of having better stream titles. This video could be the best 10 to 15 minutes that you spend on YouTube in the next year or so if you spend a lot of time streaming. So if you do find it useful, please subscribe to StreamSentials. Feel free to also check my personal channel out also. And yeah, let us know in the comments of any other tips that you might have that I may miss in this video, things that you found that work really well for you. Let's go. So first of all, where can you update your stream titles? Most people probably already know this, but I'm going to show you anyway. In your edit stream information within Twitch, click on this, and this is where your stream title will be located. Now, some of the things and principles that I talk about within this video also apply to your go live notification. Things about hooks, challenges, emotion, emojis, caps locks, all kinds of things like that that I'm going to be talking about and covering in this video are really applicable to your go live notification and may increase the number of click-throughs you get when your notification appears to people when you go live. Here you can also update tags and stuff like that as well. I'll be covering tags briefly within this video. So just scrolling through one of the categories here for Warzone, we can see roughly here how many characters we actually get to work with, and it's those characters there that are the most important to you when you're creating a title. Now, just pasted that content into a character counting tool, and we can see we get 69 KD, 69,000 wins not losing, up to this A here. So it's up to there. So we can see here the first 28 characters, roughly 6 words or so, are going to be the most important bits of content in your stream title. That being said, when you do click into a title, the full title is visible here, and the titles can be extended quite a lot here. The character limit is something like 200 or 300. I notice, for example, XQC will always have a really long title, so it's still quite important, the whole amount of your title, because this is what your viewers will be seeing when they're actually in your stream. Now, just briefly scrolling through some of these titles, I want to take a look and feel of the ones that just to me personally actually stand out quite a lot. This one here stands out quite a lot to me. This one here, possibly this one. This one's quite good. This one here, a little bit here. Now, obviously, bear in mind, a lot of the time, the thumbnail and the title go hand in hand. So if your title isn't relevant to the thing that you're actually doing on stream, that's like a fundamental thing that you can get wrong. So, for example, if you're planning on playing 3 or 4 different games on your stream, you really need to be updating your title 3 or 4 times. It's no good, for example, talking about what your KD is or how many wins you've got in a Fortnite game, for example, if you're streaming just chatting or something that's completely irrelevant. But one thing we also notice here is the tags also show on the screen here when people are browsing. The tags also show underneath the title here when you're inside the stream. Just to note about tags as well, people do search for tags here. So although a lot of people will often say that tags are completely useless, Twitch has made a really big effort to promote the tags, and they are being used more now than ever, and there's a lot more of them available. So although they're still not used a lot, people do sometimes still use them. Playing with viewers is a really popular one, but you've also got trending ones that are listed here now on Twitch too. So if you're planning on streaming within a particular category, it might be worth just looking at the trending tags within that category so that you can make sure that you're filtered within that category when people click on these suggested tags. That alone might make you a little bit more discoverable or more clickable, but you do specifically get people that want to play with streamers that might want to watch your content as well long term. Adding tags like playing with viewers or multiplayer challenge tags can be a really big deal and make a big difference on your stream to the number of people that are willing to jump in and stick around on your stream. Now, just quickly noting here, virtually none of these streamers have have emotes in their title. Now, emotes you can add to your title. It costs nothing, and it just makes the title stand out a little bit more. This one here, for example, has put a spark emote in their title, and it does make it stand out a little bit better than some of the others. I use a tool here called Emojipedia, where you can search for different emotes that you want to put in your title, and you can literally click into the emote and click copy. It's that quick. It takes 5 to 10 seconds to add the emotes. It's really not difficult at all. Let's talk briefly about caps locks for a second. I have noticed for my own streams that caps locks titles do work better than non-caps locks titles, but what it does mean is that you're able to get less of the text characters within the allowable 28 character limit. So for example, this one here, there's something like 32 characters, where earlier we tested out this one and there was 28 characters. It's only a small difference, but it's worth bearing in mind. If you're struggling to fit the content in, try uncapitalizing your content, but I would always recommend capitalizing your titles because it does make a real difference. Sometimes these cleaner titles can make a difference where they separate out some of the elements of the title with the vertical line on your keyboard, and you'll notice that sometimes people put key commands within the title as well. Now, with commands, I would strongly recommend that the commands are actually put further into the title, so it's not taking up this premium 28 to 32 character limit space with lower end commands, unless of course the command that you're listing is really key to your stream. So taking this guy Jukies, for example, he's putting socials. Socials as a tag is not really something that's going to draw people in. No one's going to click on this as a result of seeing socials on there. So if you're planning on putting exclamation mark Twitter, TikTok, or something like that, I really would save that for the lower end of the title, where it's not going to be taking up these first premium characters of your stream title. Just scrolling a little bit more on this channel, anything that gives the user any kind of metric or statistic or something like that will also draw the eye a little bit more. This one, for example, he's saying he's got 600 plus wins. Immediately the viewer can determine that this guy's probably quite a good player. They're going to get some high level content from this guy. They're getting a guy that's at least played it a lot and knows a lot about the game. And if someone's searching for someone that's played the game a lot and they want to learn more about a particular game, this is something that they might click on, or something that might make it more of a clickable channel. Like, it's only a subtle thing, but when you hover over the different channels, you'll notice that there's different colors associated with the channel as well. You can change this accent color by going into your dashboard, clicking on channel here under settings, and going to the branding tab. Here you can set a hex value, or you can use the standard colors that are available from Twitch. It might only add like an extra 1 or 2% to the way that you are perceived by the viewer, but it also just keeps your branding a little bit more on key. You'll notice, for example, on my channel, I have emotes in every single one. I tend to like doing these red live actions here. It's just a subtle trick that tells people that you are live, even though they know that everyone on that list is live. It just triggers like a little bit of a psychological thing, but it also means that you might stand out a little bit more by adding a little bit of color to the title. But I'm not adding loads of emotes to that to take up all of the room. All of my titles are capital locks, and you can see that I'm often trying to bring something a little bit different to the title and changing them every single time. For example, if it's a challenge or something a little bit more humorous, or something to do with the difficulty of the game, or something new, such as, for example, this Friday, I had a new thing where I'll be playing Factorio on every Friday. So let's talk a little bit about the actual strategies that you can use to increase the clickability of your stream titles, now that we know some really basic, easy wins that I've mentioned just now. So anything that poses a kind of odd or mysterious or shocking question is going to get somebody potentially to click on the channel. But again, you've only got a limited number of characters that you can pose that question. So you've got to be careful with this, that you don't pose too complicated questions. Keep it as short and snappy as possible, and ask a question that's a little bit different and something that's going to engage, so that might encourage someone not only just to click on the title, but then to engage with you as the streamer as soon as they click into your stream. Anything that gets them to immediately chat is going to increase the engagement of your stream, and that might increase the chances that Twitch will promote your stream because you've got an active chat as well as a good clickable title. The questions themselves can be anything. It could be about the game, it could be about you streaming, maybe some current affairs, or even just something completely bizarre like posing an A versus B question. And again, you can use the emojis for this. For example, you could have like a peach versus a eggplant and a question mark. Having that in your title as an example, even though it's stupid, it's more likely to increase the engagement of your chat, and also it's more likely to be visually appealing to someone that's browsing through the categories. Another strategy that you can adopt, and it's a really easy one, is having a challenge built into your content and gameplay. Anything that involves a challenge is always going to pique the interest of the viewer. They want to see the pitfalls of it, or maybe they just want to see you fail. Either way, it's a little bit more interesting than just playing the game. If you're very, very good at the game, adding the difficulty level that you're playing on, or to tutorial or something to do with learning within the title can also be a really good strategy to use. I've also found that sympathy titles do really, really well on Twitch too. So if there's something going on in your life that's perhaps a little bit difficult or stupid that's happened, putting that in the title just brings a really human element before the person's even clicked into your stream. So if something daft has happened or something difficult has happened in your life, having something emotive and something human in your title is really going to help the chances of your title becoming visually appealing and clickable. Now, for the most part, I would say a strategy to use would be to use titles that are highly relevant to the thing that you are doing in the stream, because it then means that people sort of almost know what to expect. Now, stream titles can fit into a number of different categories. They can either be informative, they can be humorous, challenge-based, they can be emotive, or they can just be like downright weird. And actually, some of the most random, downright weird titles that you can use can be some of the most effective. For example, I once just added emotes in my title and nothing else. And that was just such a different title that I'd used that it actually stood out and I got a lot more click-throughs. Also, I've just recently launched a podcast, and just having a title, !podcast, really will focus people in just to that one command and nothing else. And anyone that's regularly tuning into my stream that might be browsing around, or even new viewers, might be interested to join and just immediately type that command. You're taking away some of the other mess and keeping it as simple as possible. So in that case, you're actually not using up the maximum number of characters, but you're really focusing and simplifying the message so much that that in itself might make the title really clickable. So if you've recently just added a really interesting command to your stream, or you've launched a new product or service or something like that, or there's something really interesting that's happening in current affairs that's going to be clickable, you could try adding that as either a command or as a word within the title. Other things you can do to increase the success and likely success of your stream titles, and also to make them a hell of a lot more functional, is to add things that are literally functional things to your stream title. Now, some people will do that by adding tags like this and add some text tags within the title. For example, danger or memes or something like that. Those can work pretty well in titles. And other people, and I use this one here in Apex Legends as an example, and they've got an 18 plus icon. This is a functionally useful thing to have. The problem with something like this is that it may also deter people that are not looking for a not safe for work type of content or mature content. So you've got to be careful about what you actually want there. If you're outright just wanting as many click-throughs and as much exposure as possible, you want to try and do things that are not going to exclude certain people. Now, really interestingly here, a lot of these people are simply not using tags. So just by using tags, you may actually stand out in a visual manner, but also people that are specifically searching for tags are much more likely to click on you if they're looking for those tags. For example, playing with viewers. I'm actually astounded at how few people are even using the tags. I've done tests on this. Tags do work, although they don't work to a very heavy, high extent. They do work a little bit. And the reason why I know that they work is because people tell me that they have searched based on a particular tag. And when someone tells you that they found you through a tag, literally that is the only way that they've been able to find you. It's such an easy thing. It takes a few seconds to add the tags. Why wouldn't you use them? It's really important that if you find something that works for you, you try and repeat some of those things again. So if you see within your data that you've had a really, really good stream, or maybe you've had quite a lot of new followers on a particular stream, looking back not just on the VOD to see the content itself, but also looking back at the title can be really, really useful. You've got a record there straight away of the titles that you've used for your streams. But another thing you can do on the stream summary section within your dashboard here is literally see all the different streams that you've had. Not only does this allow you to take a look at the different follows you've had on a stream by stream basis, but it also allows you to look at how well the go live notifications have performed as well. Now, in this section where the go live notification performance is as well, you can see that it's got the stream title in there too. So it can give you a feel if you see the engagements are higher on a particular day. Was it this title? Was it perhaps the content that you was doing? But it at least gives you a little bit more insight and the ability to repeat some of the things that are successful once again. Obviously, you can use your channel analytics as well to take a look at how you're doing over a longer period of time. Now, one thing that's really, really important as well is not just repeating things that work well, it's stopping doing things that are not working well. If you find you have 3 or 4 streams in a row that are really, really quiet, it's going to be really important for you to take a look at your stream titles and critically analyze whether or not you're doing enough of these things that I'm mentioning in the video to actually make you noticed and make a difference in the clickability. So yeah, hopefully at the end of this, you're able to make tangibly better stream titles and it makes an actual difference to the data that you see on your analytics. Your stream title should now be a lot better, even if you just implement 2 or 3 of the tips that we've shown within this video. Once again, if you did find this useful, hit the like button below. It definitely helps us. Also, check out this video here. This is a video all about things that you should be doing when you're offline that will help improve your growth on Twitch. These things here go hand in hand with some of the tips that we've shown in this video that will help the success of your streaming channel. Have a nice day and see you later.